Today I'm going to show you how you can build your own super bright wall clock LED. It's able to light up a whole room in the darkness. If you want to build this LED wall clock, you need several components. Those are the LED itself. This is a 10 watt 9 to 12 volt LED. You can purchase them from China for about $1 shipped. You also need a soldering tin, heatsink plaster, which you can also get for about $1 shipped, a heatsink, you can get it for about $1.50, a DC-DC back converter with the LM2596. This costs about $1 shipped. You also need a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and some strip wires. You also for sure need a power supply. You can get almost any power supply which has a voltage of about 14 volts and over. It might also work with some 12-volt power supplies. Start off by gluing the LED to the heatsink using heatsink plaster. Apply a little bit of heatsink plaster onto the LED. Kind of make the whole surface full of the glue so that it can transfer the heat to the heatsink quite nicely. Press the LED on, not touching the gel. You can now continue with soldering the cables to the LED and the heatsink fan. Twist the additional spare wire to the wire of the heatsink. Do the same for both negative and positive. After you twisted the wire together, you can solder it. Heat up the wire itself. And feed in solder. Now cut the wire to length. You can now apply solder to the pins of the LED. Keep in mind to solder as fast as possible because the LED should not get warm. Now you can continue with soldering the cables to the LED. Negative, or the black wire, to minus, and positive to red. Put your laboratory power supply to about 8.5 volts and hook up the LED to it. Have a look at the current consumption of the LED, not getting blinded by the LED. Increase the voltage until you see an overall power draw of about 10 watts. Keep in mind that voltage times amps is wattage. So we should consume about 1 amp at just over 10 volts. So we're at about 9.6 volts drawing about 1 amp. So we now know to put our LM2596 to about 9.5 volts. We will fix the LM2596 to about this spot. The LED will go just under it. So we have to cut the wire to length. We will have it this way around to be able to read everything correctly. The input is on this side, and we need about this length of cable to hook it up to the converter. So, cut the wire off. You can use this piece of wire for a different project. Now, unstrip the wires. Just unstrip a bit of the wire. Keep in mind to keep the correct polarity, otherwise our LM converter will fry. The cable with the white stripe on it is positive, so we'll hook the cable up to in positive. The other cable will go to in negative. Plug in the wall adapter. Hook up your voltmeter to the output of the DC to DC converter. Change the voltage to our 9.5 volts. So there we are, finished. You can now solder the leads going to the LED and the heatsink to the output of your DC to DC converter. Also keep in mind to beware of the polarity. Now finish with the electronics. Just glue everything together using hot glue or epoxy and make sure nothing touches the potentiometer on the DC to DC converter.